support and resistance zones. This will be kind of the key foundation of your technical analysis journey, and this is kind of the start of starting to understand what patterns we look for and how to implement them on the charts. So the start of this video will be me on the whiteboard explaining the kind of principles, and then the second half will be on the live charts where I can show it to you on the real market. So the first thing we need to take in consideration is what is a support and what is a resistance. Okay, so support and resistance, what is it? Okay, we first need to understand what they are fundamentally, and then we can kind of place them on the charts, and then we can kind of take it from there. So resistance level and a support level. Okay, as an analogy, let me just explain it in like an easy term. If I'm in this room right now in my office, I have a floor and I have a ceiling, okay? Something that's supporting my feet, and something which, will stop me from jumping through the roof, even though I'm not that tall. So imagine the resistance level as a ceiling or a roof, okay? So it hits it, can't break through it, okay? And a support as a floor, okay? When it touches it like this, it bounces off it, okay? So that's how you can kind of differentiate the two. So imagine it was in a room, and if you're sitting at a desk right now, what is your chair sitting on? It's sitting on the floor, okay, supporting it. And if you went to chuck something at the roof or the ceiling, what's going to stop it? Okay, it's going to be the ceiling. Okay, so this again we can use this in real life in the charts. Okay, it's really, really simple. Here, imagine this is, I know it's kind of confusing right now because it's just some lines, but I'll be kind of explaining what they are and how we can implement that on the real charts. So first off, imagine this is just a chart, okay? You look at it, you don't know what's really going on, but I can start placing support and resistance levels, which will start to help us understand what's going on in the market. So the first one I'm gonna do is a support. So this line going across here, obviously bear with me, I don't have a ruler, so it might not be exactly straight, but you can kind of see what I'm saying. So 1, 2 touch here, and so you've had 3 kind of touches of this. So if I put S by each of them, okay, S equals support, okay? So this is a support zone, okay? So every time prices come down here, so let's say, this is a week, Monday and Friday's over here. On Monday it came and hit it, Tuesday it hit it, and Wednesday it hit it, okay? So each time it hits it, you could be like, okay, this is an area of significance to me. I could take a trade off this support, okay? Obviously, some people just take trade support and resistance levels. I don't personally do that. I do a strategy which is a lot higher win rate probability. So this is kind of the basics. So support, support, support. And at the top here, you can see, okay, if we go across here, is it how many touches of this? Here, 1 and 2. So you got R and R. So what's R? Okay, I'm sure you can tell by now. Res, okay? So it's res and support. So resistance and support. And you can see, so imagine, you can see here, this is the floor that I'm standing on, support, and then this is the res, okay, the ceiling, resistance, support, resistance, okay? So this is what you call, okay, a range, which is what what is called, okay? So we can use these points, okay, as important areas which we can take notice of, because basically price won't always be in a range. It's usually making new trends, okay? So like here, it's broken out, okay, and guess what happened? Okay, if I neaten this up a little bit, okay, and then what happened? Okay, so price came down to this resistance zone here, previous resistance, so it broke. So this is called a break and retest. Okay, so this is what you call a break and retest. You can use it as a strategy on its own. Okay, what happened here? So previous resistance, okay, broken, is now turned what? Okay, so this is now turned support. Okay, so imagine I go to the 3rd floor, I'm currently on the 2nd floor, I go to the 3rd floor, and the current ceiling of me now on the 2nd floor will then become my floor, okay? So if I go upstairs, this ceiling becomes my floor, right? It's the same as this, okay? I know it's a simple term, but I'm just trying to break it down for you guys and keep it kind of understandable. So it's broken this resistance, broken it, and it's come back down to retest it, retested it, and then it acted as a new support and then broke up to the upside, okay? Even again here, if I did a line here, previous resistance, guess what happened over here? So it keeps happening, okay guys? So look, this was the resistance which this point made, came back down to support, broke through it, guess what happened? Price then acted as support at this point here again, and this is what we call structure, okay guys? So support and resistance is what most people know it as, but to my members and people I teach, and the kind of higher traders or high educated traders, this is known as structure. So you look to the left, you see how price reacted from this point. If it breaks above it, usually it's going to react off it again, okay? So that's kind of this is acting as a bullish trend now, okay? It's broken above it, and then you could put a trend line, something like that, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, okay? But if I was to do this, and let me just get my rubber, and show you a different example, okay, of maybe it acting as a resistance instead, okay? So if I did, right, it's pretty unneat, but you guys will get the idea, okay? So let's say this was the resistance, came up to resistance again, okay, this point here, and then this should have acted as support, okay? But guess what happened? It broke through, okay? And then what happened? It retested it as resistance, okay? This point here, and then it had its lower low. Support, guess what happened? It came down to this floor, okay? Broke through, so a break, retested it as resistance, okay? So it was a break and retest again. So it's the same thing, break and retest. Okay, simple as that, guys. So this, hopefully you guys can understand. It's obviously going to look really confusing on the chart because you guys don't understand that just yet. But if you keep coming along with me, I'll explain it step by step, and I can show you on some real charts right now. Right, so on the live charts now, and I'm going to take you through how to find, support and resistance zones. So I'm going to take you through on the monthly to show you a clear picture, and then it's going to get kind of a bit more complicated when I go down to smaller time frames, but hopefully you can get the gist of it and you can start implementing it on your own. So this is trading view. You won't have the same kind of settings as me because obviously these are ones that I've kind of refined over the years. So if you do want to have your charts in the same settings as me, then the beginner course, it's all in the beginner course. If you're looking to find the trend line, it's over here, and obviously the horizontal line is what we're going to be using. So to find roofs and ceilings, to put it one way, or support and resistance, all you have to look for is kind of areas where price has has gone up to but had a sell-off, okay? So basically this area of resistance over here, you can see, look, 1 wick, 2 wicks, so it's like acting as a ceiling, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to find to see if we can look for a support level, okay? So look, it came down here, then pushed back up here, came down here, and obviously had its push up. So you can see this was acting as a support region, okay? Again, nice, we can place that on. What about over here? So you can see price had some reaction, couldn't break beneath it, and guess what happened? Came down twice, pushed back up, and obviously had it sell off. Over here acts as resistance again, resistance. So you can see resistance, resistance, support, support, and then here support, support, and then it's acting as resistance, resistance. Okay, so previous support levels then broken or now broken can then act as new resistance like it has over here. Okay, you can see that. Let's place another one. What about over here? Okay, so you can see this support over here. Look, 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wick, 4 wick, 5 wick, 6 wick. You can see this is another support area. Okay, so even at the bottom of this, you can see that this is like a double bottom here. 1, 2. Okay, double bottom. So this is like, I know there's not too many lines. I don't want to overcomplicate it, but you can see there's regions and areas where prices come into, and has some reaction rounds. So we can see this on the bigger time frames that this is a significant level. Would I be able to take a trade here? Is there any confluences, any other confluences that we look for to take trades from? So hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing right now, on the bigger time frames, and you can just see there's this sections and areas of where price is really attracted to. So people assume trading charts, stocks, indices, cryptocurrency, oh, it's really hard to trade, you need to be really smart, when in reality you just need to understand the basic fundamentals from someone who can explain it properly. So this is the higher time frames, and then now I'm going to go on to smaller time frames so you guys can understand it on a smaller kind of point of view. So I've gone down to the daily, and now I'm going to be placing some lines on for you to see if we can see any trends. Okay, so here I can have a look over here. I've obviously done this for the past 4 years, so automatically I can just see support resistance levels, Fibonacci levels, where to place Fibonacci, trend lines, cycle levels, all this kind of stuff, which you guys will learn if you do stick around later on. So here I can already see a resistance, okay, where price is right now. Resistance, resistance, resistance again, and over here it was acting as resistance, 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 and it was acting as support, 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 support. So this is obviously a level. Again, I can probably put one down here. Look, you can see, okay, price, support, support again here, support all the way across here. So I can put my rectangle on to kind of make it a bit more clearer to you. 1 here, 2 here, and you can keep placing these on all day, okay? and keep placing these all the way across. You know, they're still relevant now. Look, the price right now is right here. This is live in the market when I'm recording this, and you can see, look at this, support from this zone. Okay, so even to this day right now, as I'm making this, price is reacting off this level which I've placed. Okay, and you can keep placing these all day, basically all day long. You can see double top here, which is a formation. You can see, look, resistance, then it acted as support over here. Okay, if we go back in time a little bit, so you guys can see that it's not just I'm not just choosing a select area. You know, if we go back, hang on. So if we go back in time, let's go back up here. Let's see if we can see some areas. Okay, so I can see even over here. Okay, so if I press this, this was a resistance zone here. Look, came down, active resistance. Is that a structure? Yes, it is. Look, previous support. So when I keep saying, you know, resistance or support turn resistance or resistance turns support, you know, all we have to do is look to the left. We have to look at what price has done previously, and, you know, price has reacted off this region. Okay, you can see it again and again. Okay, structure. Look, what happened here? Support, resistance. Okay, broken resistance, came down, retested resistance again. Okay, so we can see that, you know, price has reacted from this point previously, and then, you know, we can use this because probability dictates to us that it's going to happen again. So, you know, I'm just teaching, you know, support and resistance, trend lines, all these different things to take trades here, with, you know, potential to, you know, make some money. So this is kind of the basic principles of what, you know, support and resistance zones are, and we can use these to our advantage. So if I just clear the chart once more and show you a few more examples, I don't want to make the video too long, but, you know, here, you know, look, support, retested resistance, had a sell off, came again over here to support. Okay, so that's a basic support level over here, and then obviously resistance would just be something like this. So you can see, came into support, came into resistance, sold off, came up, sold off, came up, sold off, etc. And then obviously over here, once it broke through, it retested as a resistance, now turns support, and then we can use that for a complement. So hopefully you guys are getting a bit more understanding for the charts. This is super basic stuff, but, you know, stuff that you need because it builds the foundations, you know, for your other technical analysis. But, you know, I'm just showing you that you don't have to be a master or some genius. You just need to understand it, take your time to learn it, and you really can, you know, start to be on your way on your trading career. So hopefully you guys will take this away and do some revision and do your own chart work, and hopefully I see